To complete a Community Support Scheme application form, you must first register to use the system. When you click on the link from the website, you will see the following screen. The option to register is available in the top right-hand corner. This is highlighted in red below. Now click on Register. When you click on Register, the following screen will appear. Enter the email address you will use. Click on Next. You will then be asked your first name. Enter this now and click Next. You will then be asked your last name. Enter this and click Next. You must create a password which is case sensitive. Enter the password you have chosen and click on the Register button. When you click Register, the following screen will appear. You will note that you are logged in by clicking on this icon on the top right-hand corner, see in red below. When you click on this, you will be given an option from a drop-down list to sign out. If you wish, you can stay logged in. Click on the View Forms button to make an application. You only need to complete the above process of registration once. The next time you click on the link from the website to the system, you can sign in by clicking on the Sign In button at the top right-hand corner of the screen, which is highlighted in red below. When you click Sign In, the screen below will appear. You must enter the email address and password you used when you registered. Then click Sign In underneath the password box. This will bring you into the system where you can click on the View Forms button to access the Community Support Scheme online form. We will now take you through this process.
I'm going to show you how to make an online application for the Clare County Council Community Support Scheme. So when you have logged in, your name will appear up here. If you click on your name, you'll see an option to sign out. And for the moment, we'll stay logged in. So this is the screen you will see when you log in. If you click View Forms, it will bring you down. You scroll down to the bottom form. This is the form we want to use. So when you click on the form, click here. It will bring you into a screen that gives you some background information. So you're told the deadline for receipt of applications is Friday the 29th of January at 5 p.m. You're getting a description of the scheme, who should apply, type of support schemes available. There's also a link here to the Community Support Scheme Guidelines for 2021. So when you click here, it will bring you into a PDF document that you can read. The closing date for applications, again, is referenced here. If you have any queries on the scheme or the online application system, you can contact your local Rural and Community Development Officer, and the contact details are available here. So when you click here, it will bring you into our website where you will get details of your Rural and Community Development Officer. So if we scroll back up, over here on the right-hand side, you will see you have the option here of New. This allows you to create a new application. You can see just down below here where you have Complete. This is an application I've already submitted, so you can submit more than one application. When it's in this state of complete, this means it has gone through to Clare County Council and will now be considered for a grant. You can view this application by clicking the View button. I'll show you this later. In draft state, this means that I've previously gone into the system and started to create an application, but I have saved it along the way and quit out of the system before completing the application. So the system recognises it as a draft application. For this to be considered for grant funding, I need to go back in by clicking the Continue button, finish the application, and submit the application. When I submit the application, it will change from a draft status to this status of complete. So it's very important, if you see any applications in draft and you want these applications to be considered for funding, that you click on Continue and finish out your application and click on the Submit button at the end. So I'll be showing you this when I do a new application. So when I click on new, it brings me into the application form. So this is basically a mirror image of the paper application that we would have used previously. So all the questions are similar. You'll see at the bottom of the screen there's an arrow for next and back. This allows you to move back and forth between questions. This here means this is the first question here out of 25. So when I go next, you're into the second question. Click back, it brings you back to the first question. So at any time you can save and quit. So as I said, if you click this button at any time in the middle of your application process, it will create a draft application. It is very important that you go back in at some stage and click this submit button so that the application moves to a complete state, because that's the state that we need for an application to be considered by Clare County Council for funding. So that's a complete application. So when you're happy you have all your information in, you must click submit. So for the moment, we'll go through the questions. So in the first screen here, we're asked to select a category. You can only select one. Max selectable answers is one. If you try to select two, you'll be told that too many options have been selected. So while the system will let you to move forward to the next question, when at the end you try to submit, you'll be brought back to this screen to correct this. So I've selected one option, click next, put in the name of my group, Residents Association, next, the address of your group, again, you can go back up if you wish to change anything, delete. Grove, click next. Short description of what your group does, so residents. So you can fill in anything here up to 50 words. Is your group a member of the public participation network? If you click no and click next, it'll move you on to the next question. Just going back, if you click yes and click next, it'll ask you for your PPN number. Next. Is your group a registered charity? Again, if you click no and click next, it'll bring you on to the next question. If you click yes, it'll ask you for your charitable status number. Click next. The address for correspondence, Mary Blogs. Next, air code. Next. You will notice in some questions it will say this question is required, and while it might let you bypass the question for now, when you go to submit your application, you will be told that there are questions that you haven't answered and you will have to go back and complete them before you can submit your application. So I'm going to go back now and put in my phone number rather than having to go back at the end. A description about your group's proposal, so it might be grass cutting, tree planting. Next, the group's ability, we have a residents association. Click next. What's the municipal district? So when you click on the drop down, you can select whether you're Killaloe, if you're Ennis, click Ennis. Where will the proposal be delivered? So it could be the housing estate. Click next. What's your start date? You can click on your calendar, select your start date. Click next. Finish date. Click next. Does your proposal involve working with young people? If you click no, you can just move on to the next question. But just going back there by clicking the back button, suppose your answer is yes, you will then be asked about your child safeguarding statement. And this is required. So click yes that we have one in place. You're then asked about any consents that are required. Does it need planning, fire safety work, certs, any consents from national monuments? It's none of the above. You click none of the above. If it requires planning, you would put in your planning. Go next. Does your group own the lands involved? If you click yes, it'll ask you for the deeds. If you click no, it'll ask you for agreement from the landowner. So we'll say yes. I suppose just going back here, it may not be applicable. So in the case of a residents association, you can click not applicable. So if you don't own the lands in question and you click next, it'll ask you, have you agreement? And I've said yes. So it asks you then for written proof that you have agreement. So you will get an option to upload a document. So there's a number of different options for uploading documents or pictures as part of your application. So in this case, it's probably going to be a picture of a letter or a written Word document from or PDF from a landowner. So you would click this icon here and it brings you into your documents section. If it was a picture you wanted to upload, you could go in here. So it might be an image from your phone. So okay, in this case, I'll just pick this image here. When I click on it, it automatically comes in. So this is just an image. This could be an image of the letter that was sent to you. If you decide this was the wrong thing, you didn't mean to upload this, there's a little bin here that allows you to delete that image. It asks you, are you sure you want to delete? Delete. So I go back in and I want to get the Word document. So I suppose this is my Word document. Click OK. And the document comes in here and you can see it's called document. If it's an image, it'll say images here and you'll get a tab up here that says images. So it shows here 1 out of 1 means I have 1 document uploaded. So I'm happy that I have my consent letter. Click next. Will the management of the facility be required after completion? So in the case of like a residents association who are just doing community works and grass cutting, the answer to this question is likely to be no. However, just to hit back, you decide it is a facility that requires management, you would click yes, click next. You would be asked who will manage. So you would write maybe the community group. Next. If the manager of the facility or service is different, have you consulted with them? So you would either click yes or no. So say yes. If the manager of the facility is different from your group, you'll be asked to upload documentation. So again, you're given the option, you can upload a document here like that. Again, if you want to delete that document, you can click on the delete this document. If you want to view that document, make sure it's the correct document, you can hover over it, you get an option to click on it. And when you click on it, it'll open up so you can view it. So when you're happy that you have the proper letter uploaded, click next. This brings you into the details about your proposed costs and the monies that you are looking for from the grant. So in this case, it might be grass cutting, it might be €1,500 for the estate, and we might be doing some tree planting. Cost of 500. So you can put in your items line by line. You can tab across like that. When you come down to the bottom, you have to put in the total cost. So you need to manually add these costs. So in this case, our total cost is 2,000. We want a grant of, say, 1,000. We're going to match this by 1,000. You click next. You're happy with that. Again, if you wish to change something, go back. You've forgotten to put in something. If you put in a line here, just be sure and update your costs below so that we have the correct amounts. Click next. How will the proposal be match funded? So it might be from the resources of the Residents Association. Next, you'll be asked then to provide evidence of match funding. So it might be a bank statement from for the Residents Association. So again, you'll be clicking here. You might have an image from your phone of the bank statement. So you'd go into your pictures here, maybe if it's an image. Okay, so this would be your bank statement. Or if you're not happy with that, suppose you didn't mean to upload the flowers, you want to actually upload your bank statement, you can delete the image there. Delete. So it's likely you have a scanned image of your bank statement. Just the other, I'll show you these other options when we get to the end of the form. So when you're happy that you have uploaded your evidence of match funding, you click next. It asks, have you applied for other public funding? If you click yes, you'll be asked the following question: details of other public funding. It may be a case that you haven't, so you click no, click next. And then you're near the end of the application. You're asked if there's any other material you wish to accompany your application. So it may be pictures of your community group. So suppose we put in a picture of a lighthouse. So we might want to put in a picture of another picture. So you can see here it's telling me you have 2 images uploaded, 2 out of 2. You can toggle through them here. If you decide you don't want the lighthouse in it, you can delete. You're asked, do you want to delete? Click delete. You may decide you want to upload a YouTube clip. So you click on that link and you put in the link to the YouTube and go save link. If you decide no, don't want to put in the YouTube link, click cancel, brings it back out. Here, this is a link to a Vimeo link. Again, put in your link, save it. The option here is if you want to put in a sound, so it might be for a music event or something you want to put in a sound link. So you would put in your link here, save it. This option here, when you click on it, is a URL. So it might be a URL link to your community group's website. So you put in the URL link and maybe give it a title and go save link. Again, you have the option to cancel out. So here all I've put in are 2 images. I might want to put in a document, a Word document or something instead, or a PDF, in my PDF. So you can see now I have under documents here, there's 1 document. This is my PDF. I can view it by clicking. I can delete it. I can go back here. If I toggle back to here, these are the images I've selected. And these are my documents that I've put in as part of my application. So once you're happy that you've uploaded all your additional documents that you want, click next. You're then asked to sign the form. So if I just put in Mary Smith, it says at the bottom in orange, once your application form is submitted, you will need to check your email in order to verify your signature. So this is only when you have clicked your submit button. So I'll just go next. It now says submit your application. So I'm happy that everything is correct. If you're not, you can click the back button, go back to your questions. Otherwise you click submit. It tells you application has been submitted. So once you've submitted it, it goes into a complete state. Get an email here telling you application complete notification, saying, dear Siobhan O'Reilly has just completed an application for the Community Support Scheme. To view the application, click the button. So if I want to view the application, I can click here. It'll bring me into a link. If I'm logged out, you'll have to log back in and you'll have the option to view your application. You'll also get an email asking you to verify. It looks like this. Just close that here. To verify your signature. So when you get this email, this will be after you click the submit button. You just click this button and it will say signature verified. So now you have a complete application with the verified signature. So it's all ready for assessment. If at any stage you wish to, you save and quit out of the application, so your application is now in draft, you will get an email saying that you've draft application saved. It'll look like this. It'll say, dear Siobhan, you have saved a draft application. To continue your application, click on the button below. So it's very important that you, if you want this application to be considered for grant funding, that you click the application, this button here, or you can copy this link into your browser and go in and continue the application, and be sure to save and submit the application after. So this is just an example of the email that you'll get once your application has been complete, telling you, thank you for submitting your application. We're currently processing it, and we'll be in touch to let you know if your application was successful. So I hope you found this recording useful. Again, just to finish out, you can click finish here. If you want to start a new application, you just click start a new application, and this lets you submit another application. It may be the case that you want to submit an application under another category of support. So you might be looking for monies for a playground. So you can go start new application.